And we were able collectively to come together and essentially make some major redesigns in the signal organizational structure, SOMA, Signal Organization Management. And what that meant was, at the end of the day, CECOM came away with the Information Systems Engineering Command at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Information Systems Management Agency was located at Fort Monmouth, but it was an ISC organization. And we did it cooperatively for what we believed to be the best we could do for the Army. And it started really the idea of a mission area called C4ISR that was going to become critical to the Army moving forward. Organization CECOM was able to provide a bridge between the battle lab, the people who were developing the requirements, and the PEOs who would have to eventually acquire the equipment and execute. And then CECOM is back on the other end in terms of sustainment. So that whole effort was one that I think benefited the Army greatly, and it brought the three major components of the Signal Corps together in a way that I don't think had been done before. Our mission expanded pretty significantly from 95 to 98. Not only this Signal Organization Mission Alignment study, but we wound up the following year having Tobyhanna Army Depot assigned as a reporting organization to CECOM. That added, I don't know, at the time it was probably 2,700 people, and it's been an integral part of the command ever since. And that action, again, has proven to be very beneficial, particularly for people who, the soldiers in the field, who depend on us and our organization. At the time, software-related missions were sort of scattered throughout multiple organizations. And we put a case together for AMC that CECOM was in the best position of any of the organizations within Army Materiel Command to lead an effort that was focused on software. And that means software sustainment, software in the enterprise systems that the Army was using to run their logistics centers and so forth. But I came into the organization with an understanding of the impact that they could have on the field soldier. The recognized leader in software in the Army, and the Army is now again turning to CECOM and transferring systems, software-based systems from throughout the Army to the Software Engineering Center to handle. That is going to prove to be a critical capability as we move into the future. I thought that it would be hard to top my time as a brigade commander. While I was commanding and afterward for a couple of years, I thought that that would be the best job I had ever had in the Army. And when I came in to Fort Monmouth in January of '95, I still had that thought in mind. But I have to tell you that Monmouth and CECOM turned out to be a very special place. Lots of people say that, but I really felt it. The sense of camaraderie within the organization, even though it was largely civilian, it's more civilian now than it was then, but still very largely civilian, the feel in the community and the commitment that that was palpable throughout that whole organization really turned me around. And when I left there in '98, I went away knowing that that was the best job I had ever had. It was almost a personal mission for me to learn the job that I was being asked to perform. And the way I chose to do that was I put myself on, since I had the authority, I put myself on 16 source selections in the time that I was commanding CECOM. And it did a couple of things. One, it did train me up by fire. And the other thing it did was, I think it provided the senior people, and actually down to the GS-12s throughout the organization, some appreciation for what that piece of the mission entailed, that I would get personally involved in it. And so it was a learning process. But I know it benefited me, and I think it benefited the organization as a whole and the quality of the contracting that we did at that period. You hear a lot about partnership between the defense sector and the industry sector supporting them. But when I left and I went to work for industry, I realized that I really didn't do a very good job, or I didn't do as good a job as I could have if I had understood better the motivation, the processes that they have to adhere to, and sometimes the wall that goes up between defense and the private sector, all in the name of trying to make sure that the process is fair. We don't get anything into the field to support the soldier without the private sector and without contracting. And so you need to know something about that, and you need to be able to reach out for the good of the soldier to help better define not only the requirement, but what are the potential solutions are.